You're listening to the Abolitionist Round Table, patriotic Black American conservatism, with your hosts, Del, Phil, and Janice, leading the charge and advancing the 4%. Join in the conversation at 734-822-1600.
Good morning and welcome back to the Abolitionist Round Table of Michigan, heard every Saturday morning on Wham Talk 1600. We would encourage our audience to go to our website, artofmichigan.com, to kind of follow the issues of the day. In fact, we had a event this past week or a week ago where Del and a group of people went to the Holocaust Museum. How'd that go, Del?
Oh, that was, I want to say I appreciate everyone that came out. That was our 5th annual tour. I had a chance to sit down and talk to a Holocaust survivor myself personally, asked him a number of questions, had a few people questions that somebody sent me in an email, and I had an opportunity because there's, right, like 9/11 and some other things. We have people that's now going back and trying to relitigate some of the things that happened, and they forget they did have the Nuremberg trials, and these people admitted to doing this.
Right.
But there's people out there that's saying that the Holocaust did not happen.
It's amazing how our history is changed and revised, and you know, I would like to believe that the people of Israel are God's chosen people, as it says in the Bible. They were in the biblical times, they were throughout history, and they are today. And we have to stand with Israel. We just have to. But the Art of Michigan website has a lot of good information, a lot of news of the day, has a support art function. You can go to the support art page of the website and donate to our great cause here to continue good, conservative, Christian news talk radio on the great Wham radio station here at 1600 AM.
Can I mention one more thing, Mayor? I want to say that I enjoyed meeting a lot of people last night. You know, it was one of the stations in the middle of the dial. Reverend Yu had an opportunity to be part of a function last night, and we had a chance to hear Sean Hannity, and I had a chance to meet and talk to a lot of people last night. And so I want to say I'm very grateful to have the opportunity to meet you last night and talk with you.
Absolutely. That was a good event last night. I enjoyed listening to Sean Hannity. I thought that was real well done. You know, we really need to elect righteous people into higher offices. It says so in Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. Yes. We are mourning today for our friends in France, for the entire world that is facing a threat like none other. And we have to be very careful about who we elect to be the president of the United States. As we know, we've been offering opportunities to various people who are representing the campaigns of the people running for president. We've had someone representing Ted Cruz, Rand Paul. We've talked about Donald Trump. And this morning we're joined by John Jimenez, who is the Macomb County chair for the Ben Carson for President campaign. Good morning, John.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. And how are you this morning?
I'm doing very well.
Good. Why don't you give us an idea of what it is that's going on in Macomb County to help support Ben Carson for president?
Well, first of all, I'd like to express my condolences to the news that we all were learning about last night about France. It's just very, very unfortunate, and our hearts and prayers go out to them.
Absolutely, that's for sure, John.
As for what we're doing in Macomb County, we're focusing on a purely grassroots effort, unorganized by the actual Carson campaign, and with support with materials from the 2016 campaign, getting the word out on Dr. Carson and about Dr. Carson's ideas, his efforts, and his goals that the United States, can be healed and inspired and revived. We really want to share his message to as many people as we can. So we've been meeting bi-monthly to think about and talk about areas we can areas of the metropolitan area that we can basically target and spread his message out.
Well, that's interesting. I talked to a lady last night at the Sean Hannity event that said that she was coordinating an effort in Oakland County as well. Do you know if there's a group here in Livingston County that the people of Ann Arbor might be able to tap into?
Or Washtenaw.
Washtenaw County, yes. Well, Washtenaw,
Washtenaw,
Livingston, both
two,
counties might be able to tap into. John, do you know of any other committees in the area?
No, I don't know of any other committees. We do know that there is some folks from Wayne that have attended the Oakland meeting, as have I in the past, just to get an idea of what they were doing and take some lessons learned to coordinate and establish our Macomb County committee.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's good that you guys are coordinating your efforts across the board. If, in fact, the group believes firmly that Ben Carson should be president. I think that that's a wonderful thing that you're doing. Is there any place where people can get a hold of you, John?
Yes, you can like our Facebook, Michigan for Dr. Ben Carson, our Facebook page. We're having a growing number of people join us there, and you can get in contact with us there. That's primarily our method of communication. This new era of technology, we're using that to spread his word and to communicate to one another. And then by email. My email is that okay to give it out?
Yeah, that would be fine.
Yes.
Okay. My email is john.a.jimenez, JIMENEZ1 @gmail.com.
Boy, that's another long address that we're going to have a little trouble repeating. But, I think we'll have your... you certainly will have this show on the Art of Michigan website at some point in the future.
Yeah,
we always archive
Monday.
and are they on that early? That's great. So Monday we'll be able to have this aired across the world, around the world, on artofmichigan.com. So, John, I really do appreciate your stopping by and joining us. That is a nice website or a Facebook page that you've got, Ben Carson 2016-Macomb County. And we wish you all the best of luck. We're going to move on to a discussion about our presidential debate. Phil, what'd you think about the presidential debate on Tuesday?
Well, I didn't get a sense of there being anything as urgent as I would have liked to have seen of what all of these candidates agreed on. You see, and that's why we had the debates. But we do know that it is urgent that we do something with with closing the border, and so we got that. We see that is the driving point, but. That is already legislation. All we have to do is enforce that.
Yep.
We've got we had a bill to build the fence, and they've actually started some portions of it. And what happened?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, what I want to do is get some kind of idea from one of these candidates that it is possible to do the things that we need to do. If look what Kasich said to Donald Trump. How are you going to get 11 million people back across the border?
Right.
And it appears that it's an impossibility. Americans can do whatever they set their minds to.
Absolutely.
We've always been a can-do nation.
Yeah. I think we all go into watching these presidential debates with our own preconceived notion about who would be best for the presidency, and I'm no different than anybody else. I like Donald Trump. I didn't like what he said about Ben Carson. Don't get me wrong. I think there is a line where your boldness and your flamboyancy, it needs to be reined in a little bit. And Donald Trump maybe needs to be reined in a little bit. But I'll tell you, if you go to his website, DonaldJTrump.com, he has position papers written on all of these things. His immigration reform is based upon three core principles. 1, a nation without borders is not a nation. 2, a nation without laws is not a nation. 3, a nation that does not serve its own citizens is not a nation. And so that's part of his plan to make America great. Del, what did you think about the presidential
I was going to
debate?
say, he need to be a little bit better communicator, and this is why President Obama is in this position that he's in right now. Not that he's the best communicator, he's the best at reading that teleprompter.
Yeah.
But I think that if Donald Trump can be just a little bit better communicator, besides calling people dumb and stupid and idiotic. After a while, these are words that start to fall on deaf ear, and so what happened is myself, I start gravitating because I need somebody to articulate things to me on a little bit higher level because I'm always looking to grow. And so when Ted Cruz always can articulate something on a very high level, we want the people that's listening to climb up and say and look at that and see, one of the things he pointed out, I'm just going to say, because I'm not for anybody right now, I'm looking at everybody, but I am gravitating more and more to a Cruz, gravitating to a Ben Carson. I like Donald Trump. I want Donald Trump to stay in this as long as he can because of him being the front runner, he keep tearing down that when that curtain of political correctness try to raise back up with Donald Trump. He's the one that keep ripping it down. No, it's not happening on my watch. And so for as long as he's in the race, he can keep that curtain of political correctness tore down. But it was something that I thought he articulated very well when Senator Cruz pointed out that if these immigrants were coming in and they had medical degrees, if these immigrants that were coming in mass numbers were journalists, I think that we would have an outrage from people that are in these high positions, but because they're coming in and they taking these low end positions and driving down the wage. This is why we have 90 million people that's out of the workforce, and a big percentage, I think it's like 50 million people that's on food stamps.